anger on the motherfucking women.
She had a reason. Tasha did not have a reason.
Upside his motherfucking dome, and he the one who married your ass.
We're never gonna agree on
it. Take it out on the black women.
No, Tasha was wrong.
You're gonna take it out on the black women, though. Okay, got it. Got it.
So look, Tasha did not have a reason to attack Cardi B. She had no reason to attack that girl. If Cardi B decided to attack Tasha, if Cardi B decided to attack those other women because they were speaking with her husband, she has the right to.
Black women, including calling them monkey and Cardi and everything else.
No,
we're not gonna do that.
Listen, I support Cardi. But in all fairness, though, when people were attacking me for being a light-skinned woman on the platform, wasn't nobody protecting me, and I'm a black woman, so what's up? Literally, Harlow got on his platform and called me all types of half-breed.
We don't want to rehash. We don't want to rehash.
No, but that's the whole point. So it's not okay to rehash that.
Tell the whole truth. Tell the whole truth, Andrea. But you don't tell the whole truth.
Okay, so what's the whole truth?
The whole truth is that the reason why the audience was unsympathetic is because you was a fundamental part of why all this shit happened to begin with. So nobody was trying to hear from you. It's like nobody ain't trying to hear from Cardi B.
So explain that. No.
Hey, everybody. It is Let Me See Your Transcript, your very, very history teacher. Thank you so much for being here right now. Thank you so much. I had to let this play a little bit. I also just came home late, traffic jam, but teacher life. And I was trying to grab a little bit to eat. But I also wanted to start off with this because this is audio from two people that I have been dealing with online for the last 2 years. Actually, me and my friends. And these two people, I knew they were going to eventually fall out. I just didn't know when. They were the last of the two, who fell out, and they fell out on another program. Y'all probably know who the guy is. Y'all call him Knocked Off Media. And so today I thought, you know what? And I said it last week. Boy, what are you doing? Boys knocking down stuff. That I was going to do like a sector history, like a who's who in a sector, because now the sectors have converged since, this past Thanksgiving, when some of you found out that I was from another sector, even though I said I was from the Black church sector, and I still do Black church sector news. But also came and did more Johnson content, and also content about, conscious movement, pimp preachers. But I see that now that, I thought it was going to be temporary, that people were going to go to the other side. I have seen that I was true, that some people have fallen out with each other, and some people have made friends. But I still get lots of questions from different YouTubers on either side, or people in the chat from either side, like, who is this? Where are they from? What sector are they from? Who is this person? What are they about? And I'm just like, you know what? It's Black History Month. Let me talk about most of the Black people in the Black church sector and the Umar Johnson sector. I just need to break it down for everybody. So I hope you got your favorite drink, your favorite snack, maybe some pen and paper, so you can take some notes, okay? And if you like this content, you like this breakdown, please hit a sister's Cash App, because it's the first of the month, okay? All right? Rent is due, bills is due, boy needs some more dog food, okay? Shout out to the Sexy Toy Lady, Miss T Pre, Shakim Raw Exclusives, Nappy Yankee, Sparkle, Stop Playing With Me, The Koofy Smacker, Louis Franklin, Godzilla 86. All right, come on in the room. Come on in the room. Please like, share this video. Okay, shout out to the people from the Black church sector. Shout out to the people from the Umar Johnson sector. Shout out to the people who are in both. Shout out to people in the bushes. Shout out to the people in the clouds. Shout out to my friends, associates, subscribers, new subscribers, other content creators, other YouTubers, and the words of Propane Oakland, my dysfunctional YouTube family. Hey, beautiful Bernice. And shout out to my haters. Hate on me, hater. All right. So I want to break it down about why I played Breaking the Culture of Silence and Conscious TV, who are on Knockoff Media's channel. And they were talking about Tasha K. And then all of a sudden, Breaking the Culture of Silence related her, Tasha, Cardi B, to her own incident of being attacked in the Black church sector for her story. And so I was like, hey, I got this, and then it went all the way off. And so I got like, okay, I got to break this down and take people back to the beginning. Hey, the Josephine sector. All right. So, mods, we might have some people from the sector who don't like me. Roll up in here. Okay. Now, if you don't like me, but you still want to watch, you're happy to come into the chat, but just don't start no stuff. Okay. All right. Hey, Andriana Thornton. Oh, you're mostly in the couch in the bush side. Okay. So let's get started. Let me take a sip of this tea that I got. Okay, so first, also I'm going to model some things for you about how to run your StreamYard too. Please make sure that you get yourself a disclaimer. Go to Google and type in section 107 disclaimer. Download it and add this as an overlay to your StreamYard. Okay? All right? So, hey everybody, thank you so much for coming tonight. Welcome to my classroom. I am Let Me See Your Transcript, your very favorite history teacher. The focus of tonight's lesson for night school is the Black church sector and the Umar Johnson sector. Please remember to take notes, okay? All right. So, before we get into the first sector I'm going to go over is the Black church sector. Okay? Talking about the Black church sector. We're going to go over who's who in the Black church sector. Now, I'm going to let you know there are going to be pictures up here. And I'm going to be talking about them. All right? So, for the most part, I kind of like need y'all to listen. Okay? Is my volume good? Okay, is my volume good? Boy, I'm live now. It's 38 people watching, and it's 23 people, 23 likes. Hit the like button. Come on in. All right. So, boy wants all my attention. All right. So, we're going to talk about first, we're going to talk about the Black church sector. Okay. So, like a lot of people, like myself, who grew up in the church, all right. So I go on YouTube and I see the little trending things. I have friends who forward me different videos like, hey, you should go watch this person. You should go watch that person. And they're basically telling about who's who in the Black church world. Now, there are some people in the Black church sector who just purely do like things related to the Black church, either ministers, different pastors. They talk about, news, trending topics in the church. They may talk about, scandalous or infamous things. Then there are people in the Black church sector who deal strictly with like doing a ministry. They are praying. They are going over scripture. They are having these philosophical, theological discussions. Okay. But as you just heard, you heard two different people who are in the Black church sector or who are doing Black church topics because they're part of the infamous or scandalous news or church tea, as you can say. Think about it. So we need to come with the architect, as you might say, the originator, who really started the whole Black church vlogging about Black church business, about ministers, about singers, about what goes on in the church. And some have said he knows where all the bodies are buried. Sometimes people can say, hey, he may be the William Williams of the Black church sector. And his name is Sir William McCrae III. Okay. He was actually raised in the Baptist church. Later on, I guess, converted and became a part of the Church of God in Christ. Was an elder in the church, but because of all the reporting he has done and allegedly blackmailing, okay, he was stripped of his elder title. Okay. However, he is still known and still reports on things within the Black Kojic Church and also other denominations. He's a bit of a quandary or maybe oxymoron because he does espouse a lot of very, you might say, homophobic or conservative traditional values about homosexuality, about marriage, adult, things like that in the church. But at the same time, he's a contradiction because when you see him, like right now, this is a tame picture of him. He wears makeup, he wears lace fronts, and he gets his nails done. Even though most of the time he wears a suit. His first vlog was called Mr. Obnoxious. Okay. He has done lives or videos with Larry Reid Live, also with King Jives, okay, and other people, okay. So like I said, he's, this to me, he's the originator, he's the architect of the whole Black church vlogging world. If he did not come and open the door, there would be no Larry Reid, there'd be no King Jives, there'd be no other people, okay. So this is the first, person I need to bring up. And his nickname, because, he's parodied. There are parody pages of him on YouTube and on TikTok. There's Granny McCrae. There's one called Granny McCrae. Okay, Tristan McGregor, I just started. This is the first person. This is Sir William McCrae. He started the Black church vlogging. He was the first one. Okay. That's what I'm going over. All right. Hey, Tony XM, thank you so much for being here. All right. So this is who this person is. Just letting you know. We're going to come back to him. Okay, we're just going to go. Right now, we're just going through the who's who, give you a little summary, and then we're going to get into some more salacious stuff. He had a YouTube channel, but some other vlogger had it allegedly snatched away. Sir William McCrae III. He does most of his lives now on Facebook. He does Sunday night lives, but I think he may have switched to Mondays now. Lewis, can you go grab the link to Sir William McCrae's link on Facebook and post it in the chat for me? I appreciate it. Tristan, are you on a delay, baby? Hey, Glorian. Tristan. Now, you wasn't here for my thing. I said, I need you to listen more and not do a lot of questions just yet. And I'm explaining this, and you asking them too many questions now, right? Okay. This is Sir William McCrae III. I just explained who he was. I said he's a little bit oxymoronic because he's espousing a lot of traditional values in the Black church, but he also dresses like, some say, a drag queen. He wears suits, but he also wears lace fronts, makeup, and long nails. Oh, okay, your internet sucks? Okay, I understand. Okay. All right. And he says very homophobic things, which is like, dude, we'll get into some more of that. Def Karma, you so silly. Def Karma, so silly. Okay. All right. So the next person on our list is, you all know who he is. His name is Larry Reid Live. Yes. Sometimes I refer to him as Larry Lies, Mr. Breadbasket. He actually showed up on the scene. I want to say Sir William's probably been doing this for 10 years at least. Larry Reid Live's probably been doing it for 5. He used to be a minister in North Carolina. Said he was a pastor for 20 years from his own mouth. And then the Lord told him, hey, to go do some type of church without walls. And then he moved from North Carolina to Atlanta with his church. And then somehow he ended up on the internet and became a comedic commentator about the gospel, the Black church world, and other events. Okay. All right. Okay. Then we have King Jives, who actually was raised, I believe, allegedly I think he was raised in the Kojic Church, is a minister, and unlike the other two, is actually openly gay, which I had no problem with. I'm an LGBTQ ally, so I'm all for it. Some people feel like, hey, Sir William just needs to come on out the closet, stop this pretending. Some people have said the same thing about, allegedly, for Larry Reid, because he gives a lot of, vibes that he, even though he was married, he does have 2 children, he gives off, even to women and also other gay men, and even straight men, that he is gay himself. But we don't know. I think he says it's straight. So, and yeah. All right. Sorry, just trying to get where the friends at. Okay. All right. Please like, share, and subscribe. All right. So that is King Jives. He also has a couple of channels. He has done videos with Sir William McCray, and he has also done a few videos with Larry Lives. Okay. Tristan, right now, that's for another discussion. Okay. Thank you. That's for another discussion. North Carolina. Oh, dang it. I forgot. I want to say, from what I remember looking at, because I looked it up, and I think he said it's either Durham or Raleigh, I think. I could be wrong. And getting to him, his church just has lots of names, sweetie. Lots of name changes. So, but the last time his church was in North Carolina, it was called My Breakthrough Now, or MBN Church, which is also the name of his kind of nonprofit, or his church now, the MBN Network, which Larry Live is considered the entertainment arm of his church. He said that in an actual deposition. Hey, Jabe. Yeah, so, all right. So this is King Jives. He has also had some dealings with the beef sector. He was invited by Jay Wilson, another minister who's mostly in the beef sector, and they had some event a couple of years ago, and it made that intersected sectors too. And that was, that's a whole nother story we can get into another day. All right. Now, so King Jives has done stories on a lot of different ministers as well. Some of them, sometimes they overlap with the stories that Larry Live and also Sir William McCray do. King Jives actually did a really good, I want to say 4 years ago. Was it 2017? Or maybe even 5 years ago. And I got a big old expose on Juanita Bottom, featuring this lady right here. Her name is Miss Miko 100. Miss Miko 100 had her own Facebook. She actually has her own channel on YouTube. She also has her own Facebook. On Facebook, she was having like these different lives and caught the attention of prophetess Dr. Juanita Bynum. And so Juanita Bynum like befriended her, which allegedly it probably was because of the views, so she can get more followers. And so Juanita Bynum prophesied to Miss Miko 100 that that Juanita Bynum's cousin was gonna be her husband. So Miss Miko 100 became part of the inner circle of Juanita Bynum, but it seemed like over time the things that Juanita Bynum was wanting her to do or saying that she was going to do, that Juanita Bynum didn't do it at all, according to Miss Miko. So the cousin finding out he has previous children, he doesn't have a job. Juanita Bynum said she's going to pay for the wedding, and at the last minute she doesn't pay for the wedding. Miss Miko is asking a lot of questions, and then she's like uprooted her life because she owned her own business to be a part of this, Juanita Bynum family. And so there allegedly was also the story that Juanita Bynum was engaged in some homosexual activity, allegedly with another lady named TK Lee. Okay, and so King Jives actually had like a whole web page, and also he did a lot of videos on his channel about Juanita Bynum. And because of that, he and Miss Miko 100 became very, very close. So close that King Jives calls Miss Miko 100 his sister. And she calls him her brother. Even though they're not really brother and sister, that's what they call each other. I am first. We're going to get to that later. Right now, I'm just going through the summary because a lot of people, I need y'all to say the questions until later, okay? And I'm going to give you time to ask questions. Right now, I'm just going through the who's who. The who's who. Hey, Tripsies. Hey, I am first. Come on in. All right. So this is Miss Miko 100, right? So she gets into, sometimes you'll see her on King Jives' show as a co-host or one of his moderators. Okay. All right. So remember, her story with Juanita Bynum came out in 2017. Okay. Now, here enters this lady right here. Her name is Breaking the Culture of Silence, but her real name is Andrea Garrison. She has been featured in the in the Christian Post, also featured on Larry Reid Live, and also on King Jives, and on my friend's channel, Darryl Moore. And most recently, she was on Knockoff Media's channel with Conscious TV. She's also been on Conscious TV channel as well. Okay. Boy, stop. Now, her story came out in 2018 when she allegedly said that a minister, a mega pastor by the name of Bishop Dr. Victor Cousins of Cincinnati, filmed her and him having sex, and he was using that to kind of like escort her. I don't know if it's extort her or like force her to go away or whatever, or something like that, allegedly. So it became the big talk. Sir William McCrae was like wanting to do the story, but he kind of felt like that some things didn't add up, but he didn't have all the proof that he needed before he did her story. So he kind of like passed on her story. Okay. So then she was on Larry Reid Live's platform. Then when they fell out, then she moved to Jives. And then when they fell out because of what Miss Miko 100 didn't like Breaking the Culture of Silence, she moved to my friend Darryl Moore, who had just started his channel, through other people saying, hey, you should have your own channel. And even King John said, hey, you should have your own channel, was actually supporting him. Okay. So basically, this is how it all started. And she got in the newspaper. I think it was in the Cincinnati News as well. She said that she was engaged to Bishop Dr. Victor Cousins. Okay. But then she found out that he got engaged, was getting married to another woman on Facebook. Okay. Dev Karma, I'm going to say this to you, sweetheart. Okay. She does. But when I explain to you what this lady has been doing, you need to stay yourself away. Okay. All right. So, all right. Hey, Honest Engine. Thanks for being here. All right. So, she says all this stuff, like, and everyone, like, including myself, were like, oh man, I can't believe this man did this. You know. But then there were other women who were like, nah, some of the things are not adding up. Right? So she goes on and says, oh, I met, his wife left him, or she ran away and I met her and I have proof that I met her. Here's a picture of her driver's license. Oh, I've met these other women and he promised the same thing too, but then he married this woman and he took pictures of me, and it's illegal in Ohio because they have a law that's against you filming someone without their permission. Okay. She also went on to say, according to Larry Reid, that she was, I guess, like either she sued the church or she sued Victor Cousins and got like millions of dollars or something like that. And he was expecting millions of dollars, some of that money from her. But all of a sudden, he wasn't getting the money from her. And then, like, all of a sudden, they fell out. Then she left, went to King Jives, and told King Jives, like, oh, I want to, like, get a new bill passed in Ohio that is stronger than the one they have, so that no one is a victim of, this law or whatever. So, but here enters, hold on, where is the picture? Here enters Conscious TV, all right, who had interviewed Larry Reid live, right? Conscious TV all of a sudden start doing some church-related videos, even though technically he was not in the Black church sector. He started doing them, especially when the things that were related to Larry Reid. So all of a sudden now, while Larry Reid also is dealing with the Andrea Garrison story, they are falling out. He's dealing with the E. Dewey Smith, John Kelsey Stevens. Sir William McCrae asked Larry Reid about the E. Dewey Smith, and he had questions. They stopped being friends, and Jives, who was friends with both of them, and they actually were supposed to do like a TV show, which everyone thought it was going to be great, but it just never worked out because Larry said, allegedly, from I remember, that his producer said that it wouldn't be a good idea for them to have William, because remember, like I said, William got all the, allegedly the elder title taken away from bribery. He got some cases himself, and not to be involved. And so all of a sudden, we see Conscious TV is doing videos about Sir William. The stuff about Sir William is true. It is backed up. And it was like all of a sudden now, it seemed like kind of convenient that Conscious TV was doing these videos about William, who's no longer cool with Larry Reid. And then after a while, because King Jives was doing the story about the bill with Andrea Garrison, that strained their relationship. And plus, Conscious TV and Jives were also friends. So it was just like people were friends and they were not friends, and then it was like divided loyalties, and it just started getting crazy. Okay. And so all of a sudden, people started noticing, like, CDV posting he got a new car, he got all these new things. he has, Larry Reid and everybody in his all those people in his chat, and it's just kind of like, oh, you working for him, right? This is Conscious TV, also known as Parking Lot Thoughts to some people, also known as So that's and so my friend Darryl, who actually met William McCray like years ago, was actually in communication with Conscious about that. Like, hey, this is what he's done. He's actually done because William McCray has actually done some stuff to hurt people. Okay. Who is still an elder? Jives or McCray? I thought McCray's title was taken away. Did they give it back to him? Hey, Keisha Frazier. But let's keep going on. All right. So just so I can understand this. This is Sir William McCray, the originator, the architect of Black church vlogging. He's been in the game 10 years. Larry Live came 5 years ago. Jives, I don't remember how many years, and maybe between the years that Sir William and Larry Live has. Jives and other people have noticed that some stories that he has, all of a sudden Larry Reid started doing it and pretending like, or portraying like he was the one to, get the story. Okay. Because actually Jives is in the church. Now, well, actually he got kicked out of the church because he actually preached at a gay affirming church, and that is against the Kojic doctrine, or which ironically is there's a lot of gay men in the Kojic church. It's like, y'all really got all these gay men around here, and y'all really busting his chops for preaching in a gay church. And guess who turned him in, y'all? This is what I heard. It was reported to me that Sir William was the one that reported it to the bishops. It's crazy. It's crazy. So Larry Live allegedly using CTV, kind of like how some people think of Tasha K and Storm Monroe, or Tasha K and Wiley. Just saying. And that he's doing all these other things while Larry's doing other stuff. And then because of Larry, and also the whole, and Andrea, and also Miko, who doesn't like Andrea, that strained Conscious TV and Jives' relationship. Now, while this was all going on, you probably like, how do you know all this stuff? Because guess what? I was following King Jives. I was a part of Jives, what's called Jive Nations. I was a follower. Also, I eventually became a moderator. My friend Darryl Moore was a moderator, and my friend, my YouTube bestie, Roxanne. Later on, we met Mad Church Disease, aka Marcellus Macmillan, who actually is a part of Church Folk Revolution. And they actually do like Black church content, but what they mostly are doing is exposing these people who are doing bad things in the church and helping the members of the church get rid of these really pimp preachers. There's actually a website called Church Folk Revolution. There are 2 YouTube channels called Church Folk Revolution. So, and also the other members of the Church Folk Revolution also have their own channel. So they are also part of the Black church sector. They just do other content related to the church. So Mad Church Disease used to call in to Larry Live's show. But Larry Live, I guess, got upset with my friend Mad Church Disease and like blocked him and like lied on him that he was trying to use his platform to move up. But it's like Mad Church Disease has been with Church for Revolution, and they had been online for years before Larry. So he's also following Conscious TV. He knows Jives, and he finds out about the E. Dewey Smith case, and we found out later on that the stuff that Larry allegedly was telling all his viewers was not exactly true. So later on, when Miko, one day this happens, hold on, let me go back. Andrea and Jives do a live called A Vlogger and the Vixen. And this is like right after Larry Reid, because, me personally, because he's petty and he's trying to get rid of the competition, he's mad that she's over there. Even though they're not talking about the Victor Cousins thing, they are talking about this bill, right? And then all of a sudden, he says why he's no longer friends. Well, actually, King Josh said something to the effect of conscience need to be careful. The Jobs actually didn't say anything after William and Larry kind of like fell out. But then he told Conscious like, hey, you need to be careful. But hey, here's Conscious doing all this work, and he's getting this new car supposedly, and everything's good. He's getting these cash apps. They're hanging out. He's calling Larry on the phone. And so finally, Larry comes out with this video saying, "Oh, I've had problems with this vlogger." He never mentions. Hey, Black Bar 563. Hey, Vici. He never mentions Jives by name, but we know he's talking about Jives, about how Jives was like saying these things, throwing these slugs, doing these stories, dressing like me, which I was like, no, Jives never dressed like you. Like, I wore a black t-shirt. Oh, now he wearing a black t-shirt. I wear glasses. Now he wearing glasses. And then, so he's like, no, I'm not going to deal with him anymore. I'm just going to have to let go. Then, this is name of Sir William McCrae's video. Hey, Marjorie, how you doing? Hit the like button if you like what you hear. Bless the cash app. All right, so Larry does this video about Jives, and Jives starts to respond. Okay, and he also does a video about Andrea Garrison, about how he's no longer fooling with her because she's a liar. She says she had this money for him, but he doesn't call her by name. He calls her the Vixen. So they took those two names, and Jives and Andrea created a show called The Vlogger and the Vixen. We were like, oh, okay, cool. So we were all like in the chat, me, Darryl, Roxanne, we're modding, okay? I think a couple of times Matt Church-Disease came on as a host or with some information about the legal cases that Larry was involved in. So one day we're on the Vlogger and the Vixen chat, okay? Right? We're in the Vlogger and the Vixen chat. And all of a sudden, Miss Miko is like saying stuff in the chat. And every time Andrea Garrison, aka Breaking the Culture of Silence, is on the panel talking with Jives, having a show, she's in the chat saying all kind of stuff. And I'm just like, hey, what's going on? Why can't we, And so she is asking questions in the chat, like, why did you come over here? My brother started getting all these problems, not until you came over here. And then also, I forgot to mention this. Jimmy Battles who was also in the Black church sector. He called into Larry Live's program one day because Larry Live was putting on this thing called the College or the Conference of the Bishops. And there was a bishop named George Bloomer who was like on the flyer. And so that triggered Jimmy because he remembered well, he already remembered, but it brought, I guess you say PTSD, kind of like, I'm just explaining my own way, that, this experience that he had with George Bloomer. And so according to Jimmy Battles, and I do believe him, George Bloomer raped him. Okay. And when he was like 19 years old. And so in the conversation, Larry Reid is trying to tell him, like, oh, let me bring you both on here so there could be some reconciliation and healing. And he's like, why do I need reconciliation and healing with some man who raped me? And I want to say, I don't think it was, okay, yeah, he said, you're right. Thank you, Marjorie. Larry's production team said, that McCray and Jives will be holding him back. Right. And so Jimmy was on the program with Larry Reid. They also had other conversations offline. Jimmy recorded it. And then later Jimmy gave the tapes and also did an interview with Jives. This is bringing more people to Jives' channel, but it's also getting him negative attention from people who are Larry Reid followers. We call Larry Lears. Okay. So Miss Miko is in the chat going like, oh, because of, you interviewing Jimmy Crack Corn, and now you got, this little girl on the panel. Why is she over here? My brothers get all this undue attention. She's just like saying all this stuff. And I thought it was rude. So it's like, your brother is having a show. This is his co-host. Why are we doing this all out here? So in the chat, and this is the thing. This is what I'm going to say. Miss Miko never said she smelled a rat. No, I take that back. Miss Miko said something about, yeah, I smell a rat. Why is all this stuff happening to my brother when all these other people start coming over? Andrea Garrison thought she said that she was a rat. That was untrue. There was a miscommunication. So let me clear that up. Miss Miko said she smelled the rat. Okay. There are also other people in the chat, even though they were Jives Nation and they were supporters of Jives, did not like Andrea. So there are people who actually were agreeing with Miss Miko. So when Andrea is looking in the chat and she's looking at what Miss Miko is putting and what other people are putting, she's thinking that is being said about her, but it was not. The rat comment was, she said, I smell a rat. And Andrea took it as, oh, you called me a rat. No, she did not call you a rat. Okay. All right. I just feel like it was just a time and place because Miss Miko wasn't the new story anymore. She was a story in 2017. Andrea was a story in 2018. And I think, this is my opinion, I think because now Andrea is spending a whole lot of time with her brother, with Jives, that is leaving Miss Miko on the outs. And I think she took advantage of the fact, hey, they're up there doing this show, right? Remember I said, Miko used to do co-hosts and stuff with Jives, right? So now she's over here, now Jives over here doing this co-hosting thing with Andrea. So I felt like a little bit of jealousy. But then again, I kind of feel like game recognized game. Maybe she saw something we didn't do. Because I found out some things that Miss Miko said that actually were correct later on. All right? I just didn't like her approach. I just thought it was, like I said, and I said it before, ill-mannered, impolite. Okay? Hey, Eyes. So glad you can make it. No, I haven't done that. I'm starting with the Black church sector. Hey, Carmen Fatu, I am doing a lot better today. Thank you for coming. Okay, so like I said, get your popcorn. Bless the Sisters Cash App. All right. So, because it's the first of the month. All right, boy needs some dog food. Yeah, it's like a whole. Yeah, it was. It was almost like it was. So okay, where was I? So Andrea Garrison, Breaking the Culture of Silence. She is on the live with King Jives Nation, and also I'm looking at the video, and I'm seeing King Jives on his phone. And what I felt was that Miko was texting him because it was like he was getting distracted. And after a while, people were saying, "Oh, let Miko go up. Let Miko go up." And then Miko had all these questions. She wanted to go up, and I was just like, "Oh Lord, here you go." And I think there was a part where there was like someone called in, and I think either Miko called in or they dropped the link and she went up. Either way, the 3-hour live, it was supposed to be 2 hours, ended up being 3 hours because for a whole hour, Miko and Andrea are like going back and forth. And Andrea, for the most part, was defending herself, but it was like Miko had all these questions for her, like, hey, why are you really over here? We keep hearing about this money that Larry Reid said you gonna give to him. Where is the money? Why did she has all these questions and she wants to answer now because she is worried about Jives. And Jives is like, at that time, he was kind of like stuck in the middle. But by the next video, he took a side. He stuck with his sister. He stuck with Miss Miko. So they had the live. We thought that they had fixed everything. Everything's gonna be smooth, but it wasn't because Miss Miko was still mad. There were other people who were supporting Miss Miko in their distrust of Andrea Garrison breaking the culture of silence. I felt like they were just picking on a girl, but that was just me. She's not a girl, but Yeah, George Bloom, according to Jimmy, maybe I shouldn't use the R word. George Bloomer forced a body part in Jimmy's mouth. And George Bloomer also, I think in that case, beat and then raped another member of Jimmy's church. And that young man, unfortunately, ended up with a lot of, emotional, mental problems, and he ended up committing suicide, unfortunately. So, yeah. I really need to start putting I'm sorry, I'm not putting all the links and stuff in the chat. But if you go to Battles and Journeys, Jimmy will tell you his story himself. Okay. So, all right. So where was I? Okay. So we thought everything was squashed. It wasn't. All of a sudden, it becomes a problem between Andrea, Conscious TV, and King Jives. Miko's on the side, don't like her. And then Andrea Garrison ends up leaving Jives' platform. Darryl had already started his platform with the encouragement of Jives and other people like myself and Roxanne, others in the chat. So we were like actually over there modding not only for Jives, we were modding for Darryl. So then Andrea leaves King Jives because of all that stuff was going on. Then actually, no, I'm not even reading from this is all from memory. Right? So then she comes over to Darryl's program, and then they're talking about the bill. They're also mentioning, Jive, CTV, Darryl Reid, and all the stuff and everything. And then I had started my channel, but I was doing mostly how-to videos, right? And then I finally started doing live. But one of my first videos I didn't show my face. I gave my opinion about the whole King Jives, Miko, Andrea, and all of my opinion about it. Well, King Jives didn't like it. Miss Miko really didn't like my opinion. Even though some people feel like, hey, you said what I wanted to say, but there are repercussions to speaking out because next thing you know, it was me, Darryl, Andrea on his live on StreamYard, and we were talking about like what was going over there in King Jives, right? And all the problems and stuff. And we were all saying, like, hey, the problem is with Miss Miko. Like, she makes your lives and your chats to be unpleasant to be around. And I was at the time sticking up for Andrea. Well, next thing you know, me, Darryl, and Andrea are all getting doxxed and made videos about by Miss Miko 100. We all had to put in the police report. Like, she had stuff on her community wall. She had like places where we lived, our address. She had did some really humorous videos about Darryl that he actually thought was funny, but then she started with the really gruesome, really nasty stuff. And so it just got like really, really, really out of hand. So, and as you can see, now what ends up happening, we found out later on, Mad Church Disease comes over, starts hanging more out with Darryl and Andrea, me, and Roxanne is over there, but she's not part of like we're not all texting and stuff together. So and then Marcellus starts guest starring on some of Darryl's lives. What I found out later on was that actually Marcellus knew Andrea before Larry and Jives. Because remember, Mad Church Disease was in Church Folk Revolution, right? So he was actually kind of help get her story out first, right? But at the time he did not have his I think he said he left. I think he said he left YouTube or at the time. Okay. And so he was trying to find her another, the platform to tell her story. So now you notice like there's a pattern with her. She goes from one platform to one platform, and so she gets goes from one platform to platform, and then all of a sudden she starts giving us information about Jives, information about Larry, starts talking about Conscious TV, and so we start actually like, because Miko is still making videos about us, he's supporting Miko, then we start using the information that Andrea got, not knowing, like, but even though some of the stuff was public, where she got it from, we're finding, and then we also do other research, legitimate research, not doxing, like some folks said we were, and we're like, doing lives and doing stories. Most of my videos were like how to concerning court cases, concerning Cash App, how to download it, stuff, on the internet, news stories and stuff like that. And I'm also doing church-related topics. I'm also doing other topics slowly from people in the conscious sector. I'm not totally into the Umar Dog sector yet. I'm just still doing mostly in the Black church sector. Her identity would tell. So she's supposed to go. Okay, so Andrea keeps telling us like, oh, I'm going to court. Because remember, she said that she's suing Bishop Victor Cousin in the church. She got this money in this settlement, right? But also there's like a criminal trial too that she keeps calling her trial, which is not really her trial because she's the alleged victim and not the defendant. And so we took her word for it that, hey, you're going back to Ohio for when Bishop Victor Cousins goes on trial for taping you while y'all having sex, right? So I asked her a question, right? I said, oh, I called her one day because we had all exchanged numbers and stuff. I said, "Oh, have you started packing?" I said, "Have you started packing?" She said, "Oh no, I talked to my lawyer. I don't have to go to Ohio because I told them I didn't have to go to Ohio because my kids, if I take them out of the state, they have to be quarantined when they get back for 13, 14 days. That's a new rule. Because remember, New York was really strict that first year when COVID hit, right? So this is like maybe I want to say January, February 2019 at this time. Okay. So things went from like 2018, 2019, we're gonna, so the years were running together. So then all of a sudden, I'm thinking to myself, because I actually live in New York and I have friends who live in there, and they always are telling me stuff that's going on there. And I'm just thinking, like, I know that New York was like doing a curfew. I know they said people couldn't leave the country or couldn't leave the state, but I ain't never heard anything about kids leaving the state. So I go to New York Public Schools website and I'm looking for what they said. Well, she just told me they said, "Oh, if the kids go out of state, they come back in their quarantine." And I'm just thinking, like, Oh, it's 2020. Okay, maybe I'm getting my mid years mixed up. Sorry, it probably was January, February 2020. So, yeah, because I think people started first getting sick like December 2019. Yeah, I think that was it. Thanks, Marjorie. So I was thinking to myself, like, this don't sound right. And by this time, Marcellus, Darryl, they're actually a much like me. I do give people the benefit of the doubt. I probably stay giving them the benefit of the doubt too long. But really, Marcellus was like, something's off. Something's not right. And he's a really good judge of character. He usually sees things before I do. And they were just like, "Kim, you let me see the transcript. You're gonna have to see something's not right about what she's saying." But I think for me, because I'm an educator, when she said what she said about education, about her kids not being able to go, and then I look on the website, I'm like, wait, this don't make no sense. And then I say, "Oh, why don't you?" And I text her, "Hey, why don't you have your fiance pick the kids up, and you can just go on the plane and go to Ohio for the trial." She says, "Oh no, my fiance does not have permission to pick them up." And I'm thinking in my head, you live with your fiance and your kids. Why doesn't your fiance, why does your fiance, how come he can't pick up the kids? It don't make no sense. Marjorie, what's your question? What other man now? I think she's with the same guy. Unless you know something I don't, Marjorie. Last time I checked, she's still with Danny. I don't know. So, okay. Because this is her MO. She has a platform on Facebook. She doesn't have the big platforms over here. So remember, in order for her to stay relevant, she needs someone with a platform that will let her come up and talk. That's also why, Marjorie, a lot of you from the Black church didn't realize this, when Rev G went and got interviewed by Conscious TV, they all over there made friends with Rev G and Anti-Afro Svengali. So Andrea Garrison been in that chat too. She's making new friends, new platforms to go to. Because she still want her, Black men vloggers. Well, she's been raised by, I think Black black men, and I mostly have dated them. I don't know. That's a good question. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. So, I'm like, something's not right, and so I told the fellas, I was like, "Hey, this is what she said to me. I don't know if this is right." And then I said, I'm just gonna sit here and wait, and I'm gonna just wait and watch and see, because maybe I'm wrong, but something just don't sound right to me. Then all of a sudden, she said something about let me see, her and Marcellus kind of basically fall out, and this is why. Miss Miko 100, like I said, she's making videos about me. She's doxing me. She's doxing Darryl, and she's doxing Andrea, breaking the culture of silence, right? So Miss Miko posts a picture of Andrea and Andrea's kids. And that's a big no-no, okay? So Andrea gets mad. She's like, I'm going to the police department. I'm going to fill out a police report. And so when you fill out the police report, they ask you about the person that you're filing a report on. Like, what's their name? Do you know where they live? Do you know their address? Do you know their phone number? So she did not know Miko's phone number, okay? So Andrea, this one, Garrison, breaking the culture silent, is at the New York Police Department. We're all on three-way. We're on the Facebook Messenger, looking at her walking down the New York street. I think it was it Tribeca? I don't know. It was somewhere in New York because I lived there 2 years. Somewhere I know it looked like in New York. So she was walking down the street, going to the police station, and she's asking Marcellus, like, hey, what is Miko's phone number? Because Marcellus has Miko's phone number because he was also friends with Jives. They were in communication. So Marcellus actually tries to kind of like distill the situation so bad. He calls Miko and say, "Hey Miko, can you take that picture down with her kids? That's not, don't do this. Don't do this. Okay? Don't do this. Don't do this." And so I think Miko eventually took it down, I think, and then Andrea Garrison got mad at Marcellus, and next thing you know, Marcellus is like, hey, he waited a couple of days, called her, said, hey, I want us to talk, and I'm gonna give you a couple of days to cool off, and we'll talk later. She calls me on the phone and says, I can't believe him. Who do he think he is? He ain't my daddy gonna tell me he gonna give me a couple of days to cool off. Who do he think he is? And then that's when she starts trying to sow seeds of doubt in me and say, you need to be careful about Marcellus. But then Marcellus is telling me to be careful of you. Guess who was right? Marcellus was right. Hey, the sex of TV. Okay. All right. So basically, like, all this is happening. Oh, and this is what really like all this stuff is happening around the same time, and it's like more and more every day I'm realizing like this girl is a liar. Miko was actually right about you. Something not right about this. So, but I'm keeping it cool or whatever, and all of a sudden she calls us and say on the messenger, say, hey, I got proof something Larry was doing. I forget what it was, or was it Jives was doing? I think it might have been Larry was doing. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. While this is also happening, CTV is helping Larry strike Jives' page of certain content, And hey, YM has a theory. Glad you're here. Glad you're watching. Thank you. That Larry doesn't like, or Larry thinks it's his content, and really is hurting his page. Similar to the same thing that Larry was having content due to Sir William McRae. Remember, they were all three supposed to be doing this TV show, and it's like he's getting rid of his competition. That's what it feels like. Okay, in my opinion. Eyes, are you being facetious? Are you being facetious? Hold on, you missed the first part. Hold on. Let's leave the questions to later. So basically, okay, where was I? Okay, so while this is happening, CDV is helping Larry strike Jives' page. Jives had to have his backup page. He has to have stuff on Patreon. It was getting really, 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 really nasty. Okay. Miko is still making videos about us. People are coming in our comments saying all kind of crazy stuff. She's like literally saying stuff without proof, which I know a lot of people do. And even though we kept coming back with the facts, right? So Darryl's page is growing. My page started growing. Marcella started tapping us. We all get really close. And all of a sudden she says, "Oh, I got proof of this about Larry. I'm going to call you all and let y'all know." So we all like, "Oh, okay, cool." A couple of days went by. Nothing. All of a sudden we hear, I think it was on either CTV channel or Larry Reid's channel. Her and Larry done made up, y'all. And we all, me, Marcellus, and Darryl was like, "What? She just told us that she had something about him and she's gonna get us. Now she making up with him." And all of a sudden it was like, and this is the amount of time that she was supposed to be going to Cincinnati, but she didn't go to Cincinnati. So it started kept like, why is she not going to Cincinnati for this trial that is supposed to be affecting her? And why is she back friends with Larry Reid, who said that they fell out over some money or whatever like that? And I'm just like, do they both got something on each other with this case? Like, what's going on? And I kind of think that that's probably what it was. Either Larry knew something about her or she knew something about him that was going to mess up the trial. So she kind of made up with him through Conscious TV, right? Then she tried to tell us like, "Oh, you can go to Conscious TV and you can see it in there." And it's like, "Oh, we got to pay so much money to go through his Patreon and see all this evidence of why it was really," she was trying to say, "Oh, it was really Jives' fault. Jives' fault. It was Jives' fault." Every time she moves to a different platform, it's always the previous people's problem. They were the problem. Okay, Lewis, I think you are delayed, but I got it. So we all looking over here, and Roxanne, me and Roxanne were real close, and I'm like, "Roxanne, I don't know about all this. I don't know." I'm just like, "Did you see the video?" And like we're talking about the videos we're seeing and what's going on, and we're both in the chat. And so what ends up happening is Jives, all this stuff is like happening around the same time. So Jives is also upset for those of us who are in his chat and also in Darryl, because it's like, y'all, he wants us to make a choice, right? So all of a sudden, he starts making comments about us who are over in Darryl's chat in the comments, like, "Oh, y'all over there talking about us." Not all of us was over there talking about us. I actually was defending him over there in Darryl's chat. Darryl never said anything bad about him. We just said we have problems with your sister, right? So, but then, it started to get ugly. Some videos were made. Oh, girl, YM, girl, when I was watching it, I was laughing my ass off. Y'all don't understand. I was laughing my ass off because I was like, I knew they would fall out, but I was like, I didn't know when. So, okay, so where am I? Okay, so all this is going on. She told us told us thing about Jives' mom being in jail. Some videos were made. Then there was something about him owing money or him trying to get money for his mom's case. Darryl and some of us felt like, oh, we don't know. They were sending Darryl money to give to Jives, but they didn't think it was like it only added up to like $10.50. And then so Darryl sent it to Jives. Jives got mad, was like, it's just $10.50. But that was what he got from people who sent it. So I made a video. It's no longer available. Because I think I also was upset because his sister was like doxing me and doing all these things, and he wasn't like saying anything. He was just like kind of like going along with her. I just disagree with you both. Her really, and I was getting all this stuff done to me. And she swear up and down that me and Andrea called her one night and harassing her. Listen, I didn't have your phone number. If Marcellus didn't give Andrea Garrison your phone number when she asked for to do that police report, he didn't give me yours either. So whatever night you said we would call you and call, no, ma'am, I was not. I don't know who that was. That wasn't me. Stop saying that it's me. If you ain't got no proof, that was not me, ma'am. Okay. So I made a video about how to do JPay. Plus at the same time I was doing Matthew Russian, helping with getting the word out about Matthew Russian's case. So I did a JPay, and I showed you how to set up a JPay account, and I sent $10.50 to Matthew Russian. I sent $10.50 to Jives' mama. I did that every month or every other month because I was like, hey, if I'm a Christian, I'm going to send it to both of them. And I shouldn't just make the difference. Even though I wasn't liking Jives at the time, I was still like, hey, I'm going to still give his mama some money. Right? So, never said nothing bad to his mama about him. I just sent her money. And I sent Matthew money too. But then Matthew's mom asked Darryl to do story. But see, we met Matthew's mama over in Jives' chat. So Jives got salty and mad and was like, well, how come I'm not doing the story? Well, actually not Jives' mama, not Matthew's mom, it was Matthew's aunt. Matthew's aunt, we were all in Jives' chat, so that's how we knew. So she asked Darryl to do the story. So Darryl did the story of Matthew. So we were just doing things like videos of tweeting and Instagramming and DMing, famous people to get the word out. And it actually worked. Matthew came home, I believe. Yeah, Matthew came home last year in March. So we were actually able to get the word out and get him home. However, during that time, Jives did something that really pissed people off. He went and found the son of the people that Matthew had the accident with. Matthew, they gave him 50 years for vehicular assault and didn't take into account his disability. He's autistic. And they probably were asking him questions that he probably quite didn't understand. And so Jives found this man and interviewed him on his channel and was smiling the whole time. And we were like, dude, are you trying to get Darryl back or us back by using Matthew's case? That's fucked up. Okay. So it was really, really bad because like everybody, I mean, Darryl and Jives, they were close, but by this time it was just, it was horrible. And then me, Marcellus and Roxanne, we were like, hey, we team Darryl. He's our friend. So we over here. Okay. So Okay, where am I? Okay, so she made up. So getting back to, sorry, my flow of thought is, I'm trying to keep up with all this. So, let me take a little sip of tea because. Whew, Lord. Okay. So, all right. So she supposedly made up with Larry Reid. So it's like, dang, she done hop from Larry Reid to Jives to Darryl, and now she back to Larry Reid. So it was like, this don't make no sense. So I started thinking like, dang, okay, this is when it really hit the fan for us. Because me and Roxanne, we were bonded because we were both, we had irregular sleep schedules. We both were moderators, and it was like, dude, why you? And then it was like Jives was attacking us because we were over there being with Darryl, and so we all kind of like ended up, four of us, because she had left to go be re-friends with Larry Reid, and we were just like, whatever. And then all of a sudden, she calls me out the blue and says, "Hey, Kim, I'm really concerned." And I'm like, really concerned about what? Darryl, he's making these videos about Larry Reid, and he's sounding very violent, and I'm scared of him. And I'm thinking like, girl, I know you didn't come to me with this bullshit. I'm thinking in my head, like, no, you did not come over here with this bullshit. We are all friends. We all been friends this whole time. You ain't been scared. You've been on the stream. We've talked on Facebook Messenger. How all of a sudden you scared of him? But she didn't become scared of my friend until she was back being friends with Larry Reid. Okay? Because remember, she supposed to have the trial. She didn't go to the trial. All of a sudden, yeah, this is information, like, okay. So I might have to end up doing a part 2 because I haven't even gotten to the Umar Johnson section. This is probably gonna be another video. Okay, but I just want all y'all over here in the Umar Johnson sector to know when you see these people in the chat what you're dealing with. Okay, all right, because these people that I'm talking about, they also have supporters. And their supporters have come over to the Umar Johnson chat, and they're saying things. You're like, dang, why are they saying this? Because they being, they're flying monkeys. Okay, all right. So she's telling me all this, and I'm just like, I know she is not telling me that our friend Darryl, is violent. That he's trying to kill Larry Reid. That he's trying to threaten Larry Reid. And I said, and then she tried to say, oh, Darryl has a friend who was a serial killer, and he was out with him that day when that man was around killing. That was a goddamn lie. And Darryl had told us about it. Darryl got interviewed about this man who I think he had killed his wife or killed his ex-wife or whatever, and he had been around the neighborhood and killed people. He was nowhere near with that man anytime that day. They both happened to be part of the same fraternity. But she was trying to use that to get me to side with her. That's what she do. See, that's what narcissists do. They try to push you away from your friends and to believe everything that they say. And I was like, I don't know where this video is. And I knew I seen the video. I saw the video. But I just pretended to be dumb and say, what video you're talking about? And then she's like, well, here's the video. You watch it, and I'm going to call you back. So I called Marcellus, Roxanne, and they're like, guess what? Who just told me that I should be afraid of you? And I said, and they're like, Andrea, yeah. By this time, she had stopped calling everybody so much. And it was like, conveniently, I was the one, the nice one, the one that's going to listen to your ear, the enabling one. And she's coming up to me. And so she's talking to me. I said, she's talking about this video you showed to us already. And then lo and behold, I'm like online. And at the time, I was still subscribe to Larry Reid, King Jives, Conscious on them. I see that she is on Larry Reid talking to him. And I'm just like, well, wait a minute. She just got to talking to me and telling me to watch this video. She gonna come right back. And I said, what kind of plotting and trickeration is this? This is some. And I said, y'all watching this? So finally, we were just like, okay. When she did that, we all, the four of us, which will become the 18. We all got, we talked to each other, and we just basically said, enough is enough. We're not gonna deal with her no more. It's lies, it's inconsistency, something's not right. We see that you hop from one place and you're just doing some narcissistic stuff. Okay, hit the like button, y'all. Hit the like button if you like to hear it. Make some folks mad. Send me a super chat, please. Okay, y'all behave in the chat now. Okay, it's 58 watching, 45 in the chat. Please hit the like button. Okay, so I asked them. I said, "Hey, are we blocking her on all our social medias? Because I didn't want to be getting called anymore about you lying on my friend." And then, hey, Abbott 360. And then what really done it? Darryl was on the phone with him, and she called Darryl, and Darryl was like, "Oh, that's her. I'm gonna call y'all back when I'm done." So he calls her, and she don't answer. Then he comes on the phone with us, and all of a sudden she calls him, and he leaves and goes to call her again. It was just weird. We found out later on what she was doing was she was like setting up to record him. So when he called her, I guess she wasn't ready to record yet. So when she called back, she was ready to record. And he was like, I know she was recording me. I know she was recording me. And so he told us what they talked about. And we were like, So finally I said, do we block her now? Do we block her now? And Marcella says, yeah, block on everything. Because I was really upset. Hey, Muslim. So I blocked her on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my phone, and my email. Because literally she was trying to turn me against my friends. And that's just like a no-no. Hey, Dennis Williams. Or are you really Denise Williams? You know what? I told my friends that. I said, don't tell me. I said, I'm not going to jail with y'all. Don't tell me no crimes, nothing you would say. Because I'm not going to jail because of y'all. So, and a lot of what I'm saying, Dennis Williams, everyone in here, has been said before. We've done videos in the last 2 years, refuting the lies against us, refuting the lies from each of us. And some people have come over to our side and realized, like, hey, those other people are lying. And there are those who still don't believe us. And after a while, it was like, well, I keep talking about it if no one's going to believe it. So, but I'm just taking the time not tonight because it seems like these two sectors that I'm in are converging and these people are interacting with each other and they don't know what the hell is going on. They're hearing things from people 2 years after the fact, but they haven't heard it from me, or they haven't heard it from, a different side. And I'm just like, okay, I gotta let people know. Right. Don't tell me what you did. Like, I don't want to know. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't see nothing. Don't come over here. Hey, Leonard, Vici, Muslim, Aber 360. So glad you're here. So, all of a sudden we started talking to each other, And we just like started saying like mentioning like all the inconsistencies that we had. And it was just like, dang, she got a lot of inconsistencies. And I started thinking like, dang, did she even have a case in court, in civil court against, Bishop Victor Cousins or the church? And she keeps saying this criminal case is her case. So I went to Hamilton County, Cincinnati court, and I looked up her name in the civil courthouse. Couldn't find nothing. Couldn't find nothing. I said, I looked up the church. I see the church was suing Bishop Victor Cousins because of her. The church was basically being ripped in half because of her. And then I was like, I can't find no civil case where she won against him or the church. And then I said, let me go to the civil court. Let me go to the criminal courthouse. So I'm looking at the court records. I believe it was called something communication. Was it terrorist communication? And then all I see is her initials that she is the victim. Right, Louis Franklin. She is a common denominator in all of this. In all of this, she's a common denominator. Well, she's one of the common denominators. I think Larry Reid, my opinion, is also the other common denominator. Okay. So, I do a video and I say, look, y'all need to go on this website and y'all need to look up this case for yourselves. Because I think we have not been told the truth. She gets mad at me, comes in my comments, like, you're messing up my case. You need to take this video down. And I'm like, it's not your case. It's not your case. You are not the defendant. Your initials are the only one there. So this is what I think. This is what I think. I think her and Larry Reid made up because either Larry Reid knew something about her or she knew something about him. Because remember, he's still having two cases at the time. He had the E. W. Smith case, he had the John Kelsey Stephen case, and it was a third case, Lampkin case. I think she knew something about him. He knew something about her, and they wanted to keep each other quiet. And I think what was happening was my friend Darryl was, and we were helping him, was exposing the truth and the lies. And they were just doing it to discredit him. So next thing you know, some supporters like, hey, y'all, let me go over to Conscious TV. And at the time, Conscious TV wasn't doing a whole bunch of lives. He was just doing a whole bunch of premieres, and he was always dropping them at like midnight and stuff. So we see this live video. It's like basically about Darryl, that he was supposedly threatening Larry Reid, and that they had a recording of him. And I was thinking like, dang, is this the night that she was recording Darryl? So we're listening to it, and I'm thinking like, okay, Darryl said something about, she asked him these questions. But then we kept listening to the tape like, that's not Darryl. Something's wrong with the video or the audio. All of a sudden, it was like CTV was like, oh, if y'all need to report this person because they're threatening Larry Reid. He's doing this and that and then the other. And so inside of that video, they used video from Darryl's video, and they cut out Andrea and cut out Jives and put in the part where Darryl was holding his gun. So Darryl was in a video with Jives and Andrea talking about like, hey, if anyone comes to my house to do me harm, I have something for them. I'm going to protect myself with my gun. Well, supposedly, I guess Conscience allegedly took Jives and Andrea out and left Darryl in. Okay? And so it made it seem like, oh, Darryl is this threatening person and all that kind of stuff. And I really think they were trying to shut down Darryl because Darryl was like looking at both their cases and exposing the truth. And so they wanted him to stop, and it wasn't going to stop. So then Darryl did a live and showed the original video. And then people were like, oh, okay. They doctored the other video. Then Troy Allen did a really good video. He took a clip of what Larry had. Larry had did a video where he was explaining about the video that Conscious TV had aired. Okay. And in Troy Allen's video, and Troy Allen, if you're watching, it'd be great if you can make that video available for them to see, for yourself. And in the video, he's doing his commentary, but he's introducing clips of basically Larry Reid explaining that someone named David Fennell, a subscriber who I had already seen in Darryl's chat before, told him about Darryl threatening him, which didn't happen. Then he gave Darryl's video to Larry, and then Larry was like talking with whoever wanted his group, and they told him, "Hey, why don't you give this to Conscious TV? Don't you always give him stuff to do anyway?" Oh, thank you so much, Lewis Franklin. Thank you for being a great mod, and thank you for the super sticker. And then Larry kept saying, "Oh, I was afraid for my life. I was afraid for these things, and that's why I gave this tape to Conscious TV to put the word out instead of calling 911." Which Troy made a very good point. Like, you didn't call 911. you gave a tape to Conscious TV to air. So Darryl put out his video refuting their video, and then I think he copyright struck that video and it was removed. But I think allegedly CTV, Conscious TV, put it back up. I hope it's still down, but that's just me. And that began another month of, now we got Conscious TV, Larry Reid, Andrea Garrison. They making videos about, us, the 18, and then Miko and Jives kind of like cool off for a while. Every few months, it kind of like flares back up. We do videos, review. They said something about us is wrong, it's a lie. Then we refute it back and kind of go back and forth. And after a while, we just get tired. And then we thought, then lo and behold, like Andrea Garrison kind of like goes away. Oh, boys and girls, this is what happened. So Andrea Garrison starts, because she has her channel, but she's doing a lot of stuff on Facebook, and then her followers are coming over here, like leaving us comments and stuff. So what happens is she starts saying, "Oh, hey, Miss T. Pre, thank you so much for becoming a member today." Because I'm thinking about doing is making my videos about all of this available to my members. So y'all can go back through memory lane and see and hear everything from the beginning. So that's what I'm thinking. So, because it seems like now people got different narratives and they keep saying the same lies. And then it's like, yeah, y'all getting, yeah. So, but thank you so much for becoming a member. Thank you. So she keeps putting out these lies, stuff about me, stuff about Darryl, stuff about Marcellus. Then we just started getting some information from like anonymous sources telling us like, hey, you need to look into her because she is not telling the truth about everything. So I go back to the Hamilton County website. I type in her name, y'all. Miss Mika was actually right about another thing about Andrea Garrison. She has her own rap sheet, y'all. But guess what? telecommunications threat, the same thing that Bishop Victor Cousins was on trial for. Okay, we found some check writing that she was involved in, some other thefts and some fraud. Later on, we saw that there was an assault of a woman. Come to find later on that happened to be the mother or the grandmother of her second son. See, she told us she had 2 kids and a fiance. Then we found out that she actually has 4 kids. She had 2 kids back in Cincinnati. They're being raised by the dad's family. Okay. And we also found out that she has a history of boyfriends that she's had over time, that, she's gotten pregnant, gone to the hospital, or somehow had an abortion. They gave us the screenshots. We got like a file on this, we got the evidence. It's just this lady, it's just like she's like a version of the Black Widow. Okay. But like I said earlier, Samba Queen, this is only one part of the Black church sector. There are actually people in the Black church sector who do topics about the church, about Christianity, about the Bible. Then there's other people who are doing it on Black church gossip or infamous news or scandals. Yeah, I don't know how many times she had a miscarriage. Then one of the boyfriends actually said that she pretended to be in a mental hospital, and her sister was texting him, and found out later on it was just her pretending to be the sister in the hospital. Another boyfriend, they're gonna move in together. He gave her money to go set up the house or the apartment, or whatever, and she supposedly gave him the address to the place, and he got the address to the place, and it was like somebody was already living there. It wasn't in the right place. And I'm just thinking, Lord. I'm just like, this is sounding like the same stuff she said every time we talked about her going back to Cincinnati. It was like, oh, this is why you don't want to go, because you got warrants, baby. She got warrants. But ironically, she snuck one time back in Cincinnati to go to the Bishop Victor Cousins church. Some of the other members started having church on their own, and she snuck into that service. But you couldn't go to court? You couldn't go to court, man? Really? Wow. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, it's a mess. It's a mess. So, yeah. So, it was kind of like the back and forth with videos for like several months. It was getting exhausting. And then it's like she went away. Miko and Jives, they actually talked to Darryl. They apologized, which I was like, okay, I'm glad, Darryl got an apology from Miss Miko. And I guess him and Jives apologized to each other. But I have to admit, I kind of felt some type of way because I didn't get no apology. Because I was like, wait a minute. She put my auntie's house up. She put the streets where my apartment were up. She emailed my job. She called my job. Okay. Someone called the nonprofit that I worked with, that I'm a board member on. Because I disagree with you, ma'am. But then you want to blame me, Miss Miko. You actually brought out 2 things. I just didn't like your approach. I just didn't like your approach. But no, I ain't never called you on the phone by myself or with Andrea Garrison. Okay? I ain't never doxed you either. All right? Stop telling people that lie. I disagree with you what you did in that chat one day. That's why you're mad. And then when I went on to Darryl's program and I repeated the same thing, you were still mad because I didn't defend you. That's why you're mad. Let's be honest about it. Let's be honest about it. Please hit the like button. It's 60 in the chat. Got 51 likes. Come on, 9 more people. Come on, 9 more people. Hit like, share, subscribe. Okay, so like I said, it went back on for months. And then, ironically, something came about March and April. That is when my friend Darryl Moore did an interview of 3 young men who said, not my friend said, that they were molested by Larry Reid when he was a minister back in North Carolina. Me and my friend said allegedly, because that's what they were, allegations. All of a sudden, we're getting cease and desist letters. Yeah. I feel like the same way too. And this is a weird thing though. I could have called the Board of Cosmetology in Chicago. I didn't. I could have called the place where she worked. I didn't. I didn't do none of those things. I just disagree with you. I disagree with you. I even got people leaving me nasty messages. Probably had supporters. You know, I had to make my friends list on Facebook private. I had to make my Instagram where you had to request to follow me. I had to do talk to HR in my job. They were like, oh, you can still have your YouTube channel, just don't mention us. We're fine. You know, I had to fill out a police report. Send it to YouTube legal department. Hell, I might got to do it again for somebody else. Hey, Mississippi girl. Okay, please don't time nobody out, please. Unless they're being really, really nasty. Nobody's being really, really nasty. So, but yeah, around March, April, and then all of a sudden, Jives and Miss Miko 100, I think really because initially, but that live got privated or deleted, Jives was actually on the side of the victims. But then it's like the next day he flipped it and was like, oh, why is Darryl saying these things about Larry Reid? But if you notice, the timing was kind of interesting because he and CTV had made up. Larry stopped striking his channel. And, you know, there was his sister right next to him, Miss Miko 100. So it's like, are you doing this because you're trying to keep your channel from being struck again? Did they have a talk with you? Or you just don't like Darryl, you just don't like us? So all of a sudden it was Andrea, CTV, Miss Miko 100, and Jives. So like me and my friends, we were the A team, and it was like they were like the B team. They were the B team. And so they were having lives. We were mostly having lives on Friday night about pop culture events and how we were supporting these young Black men because they were teenagers when this happened. And I had always wondered why I never heard from anyone from Larry Reid Live's church that he was a pastor of. Like, how come I never heard? Denise Williams, if you don't want to hear anymore, you can leave. But there are people here on my channel who are from a whole nother sector who are meeting these people and learning about these people the very first time. Okay? So you can go, you can leave. Everybody else is interested, okay? All right. So they were like making videos about us, and we were like, hey, this is about the victims. And they kept like questioning the victims, like, oh, why they're doing this now? I don't believe them. Y'all paying them, da 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 da. And then, like I said, this is around the time, and I was kind of surprised because like, dang, the four of y'all getting along, because we know Andrea and Miss Miko doesn't like each other. All right. So I was like, oh, they must be doing this allegedly, in my opinion, for Larry Reid. Because it was like, he wasn't saying anything about the allegations, but it was like CDV and everybody on the B team were. And we just kind of feel like, what kind of PR team is this? Because everybody over there got a rap sheet, had some trouble with the law. I'm like, is this who y'all got for to be the PR team? So like around this time this is happening is when Larry Reid files a lawsuit against my friend Darryl Moore for slander. Okay, but I do believe that according to Jives, he said that was not the reason that he allied himself with Andrea, unless he's changed his mind, and she has changed her mind. KO Media, number one, you only been on the block, and you're just over here caping for Miss Miko 100 because she's your mama over here on this YouTube streets. I'm glad y'all back together, okay? But you only been around a year, and you obviously are biased for their side. I've been here from the beginning, okay? So if you're gonna stay, stay. If not, you know what? Forget that. Because we were having a good ass time for almost 2 hours, and now you want to come over here. Okay, all right. So get Vici, I love you. Love you, Vici. Go call your mamas, right? Go call your online mama. Or which one of you? I kind of feel that they're gonna be fighting over you soon. I don't feel like what's going. You need to go worry about that. Mad Church Disease. I just now saw KO Media. Where you been? Now I probably should have blocked Dennis Williams a long time ago. Okay. So, all right. So, where was I? Okay. So, it was like they were the B team, and so we were helping Darryl with his case. Then I was having like my own issues, which I'll do that in another video when I talk about the Umar Johnson sector. Oh, you like I am everywhere. You said he's like, don't worry where I've been. I am everywhere. Yes, you are everywhere, sir. Calm just finished fussing out his mom because he lost a sub. Boo-hoo. Tasha Kayla's lost what? 8,000 subs already? Since that trial? Boy, go sit down somewhere. Yeah. So around this time that's happening, me and my friends were like, two of them can't stand each other. Okay. This is Andrea. You see her picture. Her and Miko don't get along. And we knew like CTV and Jives got along. We just kept saying like, okay. one of these women is gonna cuss out the other one, and their whole little thing is gonna go away. And lo and behold, I want to say it was July. Man, I tried to see, was it July? When Miss Miko decided to have a tete-a-tete. Those of you went to school, tete-a-tete, with Andrea Garrison to begin the healing process. And they're supposed to hash it out and fill it out and just let it go, right? So it was going good. Or it seemed to be going good. And then it was like, Miko was like, I'm sorry for what I said. I think that's what she said. And, well, let me just say, I don't remember, and I don't know what the video is. Basically, they kind of were saying like, hey, I did something, you did something. The reason why I did it is because the way I was responding to you, right? So it was like, okay, they admitted to what they did. And then all of a sudden, Miko said something about, I was mad at you. She was telling Andre, I was mad at you because I was getting videos made about me, my mugshot on a t-shirt because of you and Kimberly. Or you and let me see your transcript. I was getting that from Darryl. And then that's when the shit went left. Because Andrea was like, hold up, wait a minute. Don't blame whatever issue you had with Darryl on me. Me and you have an issue. You and Darryl got another issue. Me and Kimberly, she actually was right. Me and Kimberly ain't got nothing to do with your issue with you and Darryl. That's between you and him, which is true because I think Miss Miko had a different issue with all three of us, right? And so that's when the shit went left. She got mad. They started yelling at each other. Andrea does what she does. Sometimes she can't take it. She gets off the panel. And then Miss Miko started talking. And then finally she just said, fuck you, Andrea. I don't care what Larry gonna say. I ain't down with this shit no more. And then we were like, oh, so you are. So in our heads, we're like, damn, so are you really was working with him this whole time? Oh, wow. And so she just went off. And all of a sudden, her mods went up there and they were like, oh, Andrea, we knew from the beginning she wasn't receptive to this for the healing. She didn't want to be honest. She just kept deflecting. And, they're all like pro, on Miss Miko's side. But if you actually, those of you who were there and you actually listen to Miss Miko 100, it's like, I don't think you are the one to be trying to do the healing process with somebody you dislike. That should have been a neutral person. Oh, Mississippi girl, I'm so sorry. Hey, Kelly G. Oh, he wrote it on his community wall? Wow. Yeah, she's like, yeah, you did it all. She thinks she flipped. And so, dang it, my computer, I don't need my computer to go out. I'm trying to plug it up real quick. So, then, yeah, so all her all her supporters, they were all on Team Miss Miko. And then Jives, again, found himself in the middle. Okay. And, it seemed like Miss Miko kind of like went back and worked with the other three for a while. But then she started, rehashing the stuff that Andrea supposedly did, Darryl did, I did. And I'm trying to figure out what she started telling people I was doxing her, that I was calling her. The middle of the night, you heard Andrea was calling people in the middle and harassing me and doing all these things to me. No, I didn't. I wasn't calling you. Why would I call you? I wouldn't do that, Miss Miko. All right? No. We're not doing that. So finally, I want to say either August. I'm trying to think, when was it? Okay, not Christmas, not November. It might have been August or September. That's when we were watching. Someone said, "Hey, y'all, go look at Conscious TV." By this time, we had really unsubscribed from them like over a year ago, over like a year and a half. So we go over there. Jives and Andrea are cussing each other fuck out, and it's like, oh Lord. And again, I'm over there laughing because I was like, dang. We knew they were going to fall out. We just didn't know when and how they were going to fall out. And I was like, Jives was eventually going to fall out with Andrea because Miko is his sister. Basically, Jives was over there. And Jives actually had a point about Andrea. But this is the weird thing. Jives is guilty of this too. They both liars. Okay? They both liars. So you hear one liar call another liar that they're a liar. It's hilarious. Okay? But Jives, unlike Andrea though, Jives does have times where he is literally telling the truth. He is making sense. Okay? And when he said, Andrea, how's your baby? How old is the baby now? Is it about 2? Because guess what she told Jives and Darryl when they were all talking? Oh, me and my fiance are pregnant. So like all that whole time, we were like, oh, she's having a baby. That's nice. And like through all this time, we were like, she from jumping from panel to panel. We still didn't see no stomach being big. We didn't see nothing about a baby shower. Nothing, right? And so, come to find out in our research from one of the ex-boyfriends, he said she had a hysterectomy. She can't have no more kids. So the last 2 she got. But I think I saw some post where she said she had a miscarriage. But I was just like, dang, didn't that other people say she had the miscarriage too? But I thought that was hilarious. Okay. So basically, he said, right, Samba Queen? Oh, okay, Lewis. Okay. What did Keith say? Why you would pick a Millie Jackson in the upper right corner? You need to stop. All right. Hey, T said what I said. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for the super chat. Thank you so much. Keisha Fraser, she never had the baby. For all we know, she wasn't even pregnant. So, and then also he was, but she was right. He was like, well, how did they know the stuff about my mother? Because she gave us the information. She gave us information. She did. And to be honest, she gave us a lot of information on other people too. And then that's the same thing she got called out on by Conscious TV the night before last about the same stuff. Remember the video that I played at the beginning when she said they were talking about Tasha K and Cardi B. And then all of a sudden, Andrea Garrison, Breaking Cultural Silence, starts relating Cardi B's situation to her own situation. Say, oh, when I was being attacked, and y'all call me Miss Light Skin, where are y'all defending me? And Conscious TV said, oh, hold up now. What do you mean? And he started talking to her about being responsible, and the same thing that Jives said, and the same thing that Miss Miko has said, and the same thing me and the A-team has said. Andrea is manipulative and she lies. She wants to be the center of attention. She says and does things like she's your friend. Okay? But if you don't agree with her, she turns on you and she hops from platform to platform. So right now she went from Larry to Jives to Darryl, back to Larry to Conscious TV, back to Jives, then now back to Conscious TV. She just fell out with Conscious TV. So whose channel is she on now? Knockout Media, but then Knockout Media kicked her off last night. So I don't know where the fuck she gonna go now. Is she gonna go back to Larry Reid? Or is she gonna go hang out in Photon DNA chat with Rev G and Ashton Golly? I don't know. Or is she gonna go back to Facebook? Or is she gonna try to find someone else channel to go on so she can still be the center of attention and use their channel to go after the people that don't want to fuck with her no more? You know what I'm saying? Are you think she's gonna go back there? Yeah. So, oh Lord, I know I talked a lot and I talked fast. Okay. Oh, so for some of you like, who is Knockoff? This he was in the chat. This him. Oh, let me explain this connection too. So a year ago, this guy right here, he's been listening to Miss Miko 100. And he's hearing from Miss Miko 100 about this really bad man named Darryl, my friend. And all of a sudden, Knockoff decide that he wants to make videos defending Miss Miko, right? And all of a sudden, he starts doing videos on my friend, saying we're lying on Miss Miko. We're doing all these bad things on Miss Miko. He even got invited up on Darryl's channel one time, but then he gonna come up there and tell Darryl and Marcellus, "What's up, niggas?" Like, no, you don't come on and talk to people like that. Who raised you? And see, he's getting all of his information from what Miss Miko has told him about the situation. He ain't been there from 2 years, almost 3 years ago. He just got on the block last year. So for him to come in my chat time tell me, if you're gonna rehash or that, do it correctly. Fuck you, nigga. You know. That bitch doxed me. Yeah, I said she's a bitch. She had my aunt's house on her community wall. Lord rest her soul. She had the street and the apartment where I live at on her wall. I got emails to my job, okay? Phone calls to my job and to the nonprofit I work with that's trying to do good things in the community because I disagree with her. So you telling me disagreeing with somebody warranted all that shit done to me? Fuck you and fuck her. Talking about you defending her. Where my fucking apology at? Where Roxanne apology at? Where Marcellus apology at? Yeah, he a clout chaser. And then he really became on her side and her big flying monkey because she told her subscribers to go over there and subscribe to him. He should have been subscribed last summer. But you know what his dumb ass do? After Miss Miko and Breaking the Culture of Silence had that cuss each other out on that live on Miko's channel, his stupid ass gonna say, "Oh, he decides to interview Breaking the Culture of Silence." She didn't like that bitch. Yeah, I said bitch. Why the fuck would you go mess up your good thing and interview her? And you know what she did? She told her subscribers to unsubscribe from your motherfucking ass. And by the end of the night, you were almost at 1,000. By the end of the night, you was at 528. And you didn't get monetized to what? This month? No, last month. And that's because you're from the new mama to be a new flying monkey of another bitch that's fucking with me too. Yeah, I said it. You over there doing videos telling them like, oh, y'all go over there to watch Anti-Afro Svengali to know more about my divorce decree that she put up. So you doxed me and she did too. Isn't this a pattern with you? Did your real mama don't love you or something? She didn't hug you, so you gotta find these pseudo mamas online, and then you do their bidding, I guess, to get their love and attention and I don't know, affection to fuck with me. And the same shit happened again. I disagreed with her about how she was treating other people. Bye, David Scott. I ain't got time for this shit. Yeah, she could try that. Hey, I am first. Yeah, she could try. This is the thing. She could have been trying to do this. I thought she was trying to do that and actually trying to help real victims. But no, she just really concerned about being the it girl, telling the same story from 3 years ago. And always portraying herself as the victim. Like, oh, we're all like, so you mean to tell me Larry, then Jives, then Miko, then me, Roxanne, Marcellus, and Darryl. We just all at different times is doxing you and harassing you. You. What the fuck is special about you? You in the comment night, the same shit keep happening. It don't make no sense. And so now some of y'all are over here in the Umar Johnson sector. Y'all hanging out with her in the chat. And then when I go to another chat, y'all asking me like, well, why did you call CPS on breaking the culture of silence? And I'm looking at y'all like, what the fuck are they talking about? Yeah, well, she said that you called CPS on her. I'm like, I ain't called CPS on her. She said you stalking her. Why are you doing that? Fuck, I didn't know I was doing that. Are you know her new flying monkeys? You know me a whole year over here in the Wood Johnson sector, and you asked me about some lady you just met coming over here talking about me. By the way, when you call CPS, they don't tell you who called. And by the way, on Conscious TV, I think it was in his Patreon, when he was having an argument with Andrea Garrison, he admitted that he's the one that called CPS on her. It wasn't me. Hey, dog cigar. Ain't nobody talking to her. Boy. Yeah, like who's stalking you? Everybody's talking to you. You want to be the victim to get attention. And when you don't get it, you try to go out like somebody else I know, right? To get these allies, all right? To go at the people. To get on your side. You've done this on every different platform. So yeah, you're probably going to do it either in the Smoke God or Photon DNA or whatever chat or binary or whatever. And guess what? She gonna do the same thing she did over here in the church sector. Y'all gonna be friends for a while. Hey, Christine Parks. Then she gonna follow one of you. Then she gonna find someone else platform to go to, and then gonna talk about y'all, and she gonna say y'all stalking her. It's gonna happen. Y'all friends now. You think this shit is cute? You think it's all? Oh no, it must be the school teacher from Texas is doing all these bad things. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. Right. We don't be going over there. And my thing is this. I've had done lots of videos about this stuff that I'm talking about tonight in the Black church sector. And there actually are some other good people in the Black church sector that do good content that have nothing to do with this little soap opera right here. Hood Evangelist, Miss Furlow Speaks, Damon Richardson, Seiko Woods, even though everybody else don't like them for everything. There's some good people. There's a channel called what's her name? David Taylor is a criminal. They spotlight him. Yeah, they are. And I'm just waiting over here. The same thing's gonna happen. She got finally fell out with CDB. Them two right now, them two Andreas, they for the cancel to the out. Their Wonder Powers will no longer activate. Because right now, AS is gonna have to make a decision. Is she still gonna be friends with Content TV, who has a bigger platform, or with Andrea Garrison, who she used to make a video about me? Yeah. I'm stalking, I'm hacking. If you go to Google and type in Andrea Garrison, all her pictures gonna show up. So did Google hack her? Because I don't know how to hack folks. Okay, just yeah. Right. And right now, as of now, you also gonna need to figure out, because right now, Knockoff, he's back friends with his first mama. So, are you two gonna be friends, or are y'all gonna be fighting over him? Because he said he was a supporter of yours, but I know his first love is Miss Miko 100. I'm sorry, I know it is. So, yeah, Knockoff, what you gonna do? You gonna have two mommies? Or are you gonna go back to your old one? Which one is it? Matt Disease, I know how you feel about him, but I actually like some of his videos. I didn't know about y'all history. Okay, he's not in here because it's okay now. It's okay. All right. All right. Where was I going? Okay, so what else I was gonna say? Goodness, I've always been on here almost over 2 hours. Okay, I'm ready to go to bed. Okay, so I guess I'm going to do part 2 over the Umar Johnson sector, like probably next week, so that the Black church people know when they go over here into this sector who they're dealing with. Because some of y'all be going to places that I don't even go, and I'm just like, what are y'all going over there for? Okay, so I'm just going to say this to both sides: Umar Johnson sector people and Black church sector people. If you don't see me in the chat, there's 1 or 2 reasons, or 3. If it's during the day, I'm at work. Okay? All right? If it's at night, I'm probably asleep or I'm somewhere else. The other thing is, I'm probably in the clouds of the bushes, and I just don't. But there are people in that chat that I just don't need to be dealing with. Because some folks' channels, their block button is not as good as other people good as me or other people in my chat. Some people don't have mods. Some people do. Some places get everybody, including trolls, including flying monkeys. And so sometimes I have to go to chats and not be bothered. So some of y'all are gonna see Knockoff or any of his people, or Content TV, any of his people, or Andrea Garrison or whoever, or and some of these people, they're hanging out. All right. So this is Miss Furlow Speaks, who the clout chaser knockout was trying to bother. She has really good programming. Y'all probably seen her in my chat. Okay, you need to check her out. Here is Lord. This boy here. Let me tell you something about him. This is Mookie Brown, aka Demetrius Terrell Brown. He used to be a supporter of the A team, which included me, Darryl Moore, Mad Church Disease, and Speak Your Truth for Roxanne, my YouTube bestie. But Mookie should be an episode in my African American Greed series. We no longer support Mookie. Mookie took advantage of our kindness and lied to my friends, and they showed me the receipts, and I had to say it made me cry a little bit because Mookie was a subscriber in our chat. He started a YouTube channel. I was sharing his videos. I shared one of his videos where he was roasting, I think Harlow or whatever at the time, or it might have been Miko or Jives. And we all subscribed to him, and Darryl says like, "Hey, we're gonna help you get monetized." He was at 850 or something like that. Lord, let me spend the next 6 minutes and explain this. Mookie gets off his live. I want to say, was it December, y'all, or was it November? I think it might have been November. And says, "Oh, I don't feel good. I'm on my way to the hospital." He goes to the hospital. He's texting members of the A team, some of the moderators. I'm not going to say their name. They know who it are. And all of a sudden, his story just don't sound right. Like, where is your wife? He starts saying all these different symptoms he has, and it don't make no sense. He's saying the doctors are saying things to him that don't make no sense. It was like, "Hey, we're going to come and visit you in the hospital." "Oh, no, you can't come because it's COVID." People are thinking that they're texting his wife because he can't be on his phone. But then later on, we found out it's him. Someone offers to bring him money. Not bringing money, to pay his bill. "Oh, no, don't worry about paying the bill. Just drop it off with some, I don't know. I probably ain't getting that shit right. But it is, and then he starts listing off all his symptoms. And what the red flag was when he said, I got diagnosed with a little bit of the sickle cell. Y'all, you don't get diagnosed with the sickle cell. Usually you got that stuff from birth or from childhood. That's something you always have. He talked about his G-tube. He sent pictures of himself in the hospital, but the gowns looked different. The haircut was different. He was cursing out folks because he was getting caught in his lies. And then instead of just calling members of the A team or calling members of the A team mods and talking to them, he gonna get on fucking social media and make these posts with a whole bunch of spell checks and grammar checks. That's wrong. Then, guess what he does? So guess what Mookie did? Just like Harlow Rain did, just like some other folks did, Percy Poodle did, other people who used to be in our chat did. When we no longer wanted to listen to your lies and no longer want to entertain your foolishness, you go over to people who don't like us. Now you're in Conscious TV's chat. You're in Knockoff Media's chat. You over there. I don't know if they're in Jives and Miss Miko's chat. You hanging out with anti-Afros Bengali. Like, nigga, really? Yeah, we really did wish him well. Hey, going on with your life. But when you start doing videos about us, like you got some insight, no one ever was going to ask you to be a part of the A team. Never, ever, ever. We were trying to help you, and you lied. So we withdrew our support. You got mad, and then you start hanging out with people who technically are enemies of ours. And what I'm really pissed off about was the fact that I sided with my friends because my friends were right. And their receipts don't lie. But you do. But lo and behold, of all the videos you started making about people, one of the ones that you was the first ones to make was about my ass. And I was just like, nigga, really? I was the first one to share your video when nobody was in the motherfucking video, in the fucking chat. It was me, or it was me and Roxanne. It was me. And you treated me like that. And then someone gave him some videos, some thumbnails to put up. All of a sudden now he got my face on a goddamn thumbnail of his talking about me. And nigga, I ain't never come out and say shit about you on my video and on my channel. That's fucked up. Then the audacity that when someone doxed me the other day, by the way, I put in a privacy complaint. YouTube said they investigating it. You are over there in her chat talking about what did Kim do now? What do you mean, what the fuck did Kim do now? Nigga, show me your stomach. Do you really got a G-tube or not? Show me next to your wife now. Are you still with her? The absolute gall. And that's why your ass got kicked off Knockoff Media's channel tonight, because you ain't had nothing to go with that conversation. They were telling you in the chat to slow it down, Mookie, not right now. Conscious TV told you, don't be coming behind me saying what I think I mean. I meant what I said. Right. It didn't work. So when you Umar Johnson sector people see this nigga in the chat, Mookie and Team Mookie Brown, this the motherfucker I'm talking about. I withdrew my support. And if I ask you to subscribe to him, please unsubscribe. So, y'all, I've been on here 2 hours and 30 minutes. I'm about to change my thumbnail and change my title, because I didn't even get to Umar Johnson sector. It's gonna be a whole another video, probably either next Tuesday or maybe next Thursday. I don't know, or maybe this weekend. I don't know. It depends. Because I got high school grade papers stuff to grade. I got college papers to grade. Yes, used to pick on him, say all kind of stuff. Same thing with Hello. You was over here with us, and then when you fell out with us, okay, you went over there apologizing to them and hanging out with them, and now you're talking about us. Guess what? Do you think they really trust you? Huh? And then you had a nerve enough to do an interview with Denise Williams. What in the hell? I can't. I'm gone. I'm gone. If your ass interviews Holler Rain Thunderwood Cohen, I'm gonna come on here and roast your ass myself. Okay? Because you going too far. You've been to church. You growing up in the church. You can do church-related content. You ain't gotta be doing all this shit about us. We're your friends, and we really meant it. And you treated us like that. Someone brought you medicine and something when you was sick, nigga. Will any of them motherfuckers do that? Huh? He gonna interview himself. Oh, Lord. Well, thank y'all so much for listening to me the last 2.5 hours. Okay. And see when I have time. If you join my membership, I'm gonna see if I can. Let me know in the comments. Is that something that those of you who are members or who would like to become members, is that the kind of content from the Black church sector that I've been had up? But I probably a lot of stuff or deleted it. But I think I have it in my files, in my Google files somewhere. Would y'all like for me to post that in the membership so y'all can like go look at it from the beginning? So just let me know, because Lord, it's fix it, Jesus. Also, y'all need to let me know, do y'all like it, like the new little things that I added to my show? I was trying to make it more fun, so sometimes I feel like other people can say better things than I can.
Never, you say never.
Can't
none of it right.
Come get these niggas, man.
And I said, no, devil, you lie.
Go lay down. Bitch, I know you fucking lying. Stop being nasty! So, I thought I'd try something humorous to add to the show. Marjorie, Harry, you see you want to see more of this Kimberly? This Kim? I don't know. Thank you so much, Miss T. Pre. Thank you so much for coming a member today. Thank you so much, Louis Franklin, for the super chat. Thank you, Miss T. What T says. Okay. There are some content creators that are in this chat. Some of them have blue wrenches, so please definitely like, share, and subscribe to them. They have really good content. I'm gonna go lay down right now. Hey Vici, y'all have a good night. Please leave me a message in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. So anytime someone say, I don't understand what's going on in that Umar and that Black chart sector, just give them this video. Like, here, take this video, get your drink, get something, and go on. All right. If this video happens to be replayed in its entirety on someone's channel, I am going to hit you with the copyright strike because I didn't give you permission. Now, if you choose to use this video and to provide commentary to it, which is protected under Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Code, that's okay. All right? But if your name is Knock Off, Knock On Media, or Anti-Afro Bengali, no, you do not have my permission whatsoever. No. Not at all. Okay. All right. Anything that I said today was informative, historical, for your information, so people know who they are dealing with. They see individuals in the chat. This was about the Black church sector. It's not everything that's happening in the Black church sector, because like I said, there are other people in the Black church sector who are not even involved with this, you can say, drama. Okay? All right. Everything in this video is protected by Section 107 of the U.S. Copyright Code, which allows fair use for purposes of criticism, commentary, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Okay? All right, y'all. I better go lay down. Thank y'all so much for being a great audience. Have a good night. Sweet dreams. Bye. So.